Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Leisure Podcast. I'm Zainab Yusuf Abdurrahim, and I am here with
Mr.
Matthew
Matthew.
Joseph.
Matthew.
Always keeping
Matthew.
your real estate journey
In
in
check.
check.
Today, we're going to be delving into certain concerns that first-time buyers may have. And as always, we have the expert here who is going to be answering most of the questions I'll be asking. That's actually your cue to drop in your questions for us in the comment section so that we can treat them in subsequent podcasts. So, Mr. Matthew, let's have an hypothetical scenario. I'm a first-time buyer.
Okay.
And I'm considering whether or not to wait for markets to crash because that's the word on the street. Would you actually say there's any such thing as market crashing? And if yes, when does the market crash?
Does real estate market actually crash?
That's the question.
That's the question. Somehow it does.
Okay.
But it's not in a normal scenario. Now, when you talk about real estate market crashing, you are indirectly referring to the crash in price. And this is a scenario or a situation that rarely happens as far as real estate is concerned. Of course, we know sometimes it could happen, but when it happens, it definitely leads to loss for investors. Because when you're talking about crash in the real estate, you're thereby talking about people not buying property. And when you get to that stage where people cannot afford to pay or buy a property, then what are you holding the property for?
So, I know back in school, the
Okay,
thought process was land appreciates,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
But does the same go with buildings? Is it possible for a building to depreciate as against appreciating? Maybe because of location, maybe because a dilapidated building won't go for the same price as a newly furnished apartment or something. Does that happen?
Yes, of course. Buildings, they crash.
Okay.
Prices crash. They lose value. And like you also pointed out, for several reasons. See that the building is dilapidated. So if somebody is buying, of course, he will have to bring down the value. Because considering how much he will need to revamp the building. But in some cases, you have to pull down the entire building. Yes, and restructure it and put it back to the market. So if I am buying such from you, of course, you might not make
Much money.
out of it. The other one you mentioned again has to do with maybe location.
Yeah.
Imagine you investing a $10,000 in a property in a particular location. And the forecast there is because urbanization is going to meet up with that property, and that will make the price to appreciate.
Yeah.
If it so happened that development does not meet up with that property,
The
that
acquisition
property
wouldn't go.
ends up depreciating. Because when you want to recover your money,
Yeah.
it becomes difficult.
Of course.
Because when I come to such property, it's either I don't want to buy, or if I must buy, then it
I
has to
would
be
expect it
for a
to-
giveaway price,
That
and
makes
that's it's not a good business.
That
So
makes sense.
in such case, you could say prices have crashed.
So let's talk about weather. It's often said that builders and developers are not a fan of rainy season. And everywhere in Nigeria currently, we are in the rainy season.
That's true.
So would you say that there is an advisable period of time to build after buying a land, or does it really matter?
Well, when you talk about weather, as a professional, I can build in any kind of weather.
Okay.
Now, but advisably, it's advised that you take cognizance of the weather before you build for several reasons.
Okay.
Now, you talk about the rainy season and the dry season. Now, these seasons actually affect construction, and likewise, even the costs.
Oh.
Yes, it's also different.
Very interesting.
Because what you will expend when building during the rainy season
It's not the
is
same.
not actually the same like when you're
Interesting.
building during the dry season, because you have to take a lot of caution during the dry season.
Water can actually spoil a lot.
Of
in
course,
the
it
process.
affects material.
Yeah.
In fact, it does not even allow for earthwork.
That's true.
Yes. So, and imagine you have a timeline to deliver a project. So with the rainy season, it affects your deliverables. And that again might make you incur a lot of loss or even more costs
Oh, true.
if you must work at that
During that
season.
time.
Yes, because there might be wash, the paints are not even allowed to dry. Even your concrete,
Yeah.
they don't even cure properly
Because of the
because of the weather. So when you want to build, or as developers, it's important that you take into cognizance the weather. Weather is important. When you talk about the dry season also, it also has its own negative effects, even on building.
Oh.
Yes, sure. Now, even your laborers, your foremen, they don't tend to deliver how they should deliver if you are in an extreme condition. Yes, during the dry season. The heat, so is also a challenge at that. So every season has its own advantages. Yes. But for me, when you do your DPC during rainy season, well, it's the best.
What is going to be my last question for this episode would be if I am considering a payment plan option. I have noticed a lot of real estate firms don't go past 6 months. Is there a reason to that? And would you say, I don't know if they're interest, and is it advisable to just, save my money in the bank, when I'm ready, I pay, or I actually go with the payment plan option?
Well, payment plan for real estate is as old as real estate itself. Yes. Of course, payment plan could be beyond 6 months. It's not just 6 months. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there are payment plans that it differs. Depends on the property you're going for and depends the model you want to operate as a developer. There are payment plans actually that will run for as far as maybe 10 years, 15 years.
Wow.
Depends on the plan.
Interesting.
Now, like in Nigeria now, mortgage is beginning to take effect.
It's still new,
Yeah, kind of. It takes effect. And one of the reasons why it looks as if mortgage is lagging in some aspect is because of a policy of how much you could access.
Oh.
Yes. So imagine I could access a mortgage of about, let me say, 25 to 50 million. And I'm going for a property of like 70 to 80 million.
That means I have to look for
how do I pay off the balance? So, but that gives you room to pay for a long time. But the normal one that various real estate companies operate, which is easier for both parties, is you pay for 6 months, you pay for 1 year or 18 months. So what that does is, as you get your monthly salary, there's a particular portion that you dedicate for that payment that you send to them. And in most cases, it actually attracts extra charges if the charges have not been factored into the cost of the property. So, but by and large, it's actually something that is doable and is advisable if you do not have much to start with. But what is extremely even advisable is go for the one you can afford. So you are not you are not under any pressure. But if you're paying within 3, 6 months or 1 year, it should be within your budget.
This is your cue, your reminder that real estate is not a one-size-fits-all. You have to cut your coats, not according to your size now, but according to the material available
that you have. Because your size might not be the same.
Exactly.
And you might not even have the same material.
Exactly. So you cut your coats according to the material available. Don't forget to send in your comments, send in your feedbacks, send in your questions so that we can bring back Mr. Matthew to talk more to us about real estate. Until next time, I remain Zainab Yusuf Abdurrahim, and this is Leisure Podcast, where we keep your real estate journey in check.